Good morning, everybody. I'm Luke Sullivan with Transwest Truck Trailer RV up here in Frederick, Colorado, right off Interstate 25, about 30 minutes north of Denver, depending on traffic. We've got a ton of inventory on the lot, and I think behind me is what's becoming it definitely very close, if not the most popular trailer on our lot, design-wise, floor plan-wise. And this one here is loaded up. There's not an option to spare on this one. It's a Norstar Cimarron 2026 2+1. What makes this one a little bit unique, just real quickly, is first and foremost, it's an air ride trailer. These trailers, our air ride customers say they'll never go back once they go into one. Secondarily to that too, we've also made our box in the front of this trailer a little bit bigger. So our overall floor length on this trailer is 26 feet of a 5.5-foot tack room. So we'll go into a little bit more about that when we get there. But first and foremost, let's talk about our hitch, talk about the nose a little bit. First and foremost, 2 5/16 inch B&W coupler. This is their third iteration of it. There's a lot of adjustment here. If we're hooking up to one of our haulers or an old pickup or our late model pickups, we can get this trailer riding level with the adjustment that we have in here. So really nice to be able to have that ability to adjust that. Always remember your safety chains, even your goosenecks need it. Coming around to the side over here too. Cimarron does a nice job with just the small stuff, and this is one of those things that I really like, is the coiled up safety breakaway cable. Just nice to keep some of that clutter, keep you from accidentally tripping that or something, and keeping things nice and clean under your trailer. So now, another big option that this trailer is equipped with is this enclosed gooseneck. I love this roll-up door, and it keeps everything behind here protected, whether it's our spare, our jack, our battery box. We want to store a few other things in here, we can. And then Cimarron's done a nice job too. We put these heavy duty utility hooks in here as well. So if you want to hang some hoses, some extension cords, you have that option. And this is also keyed, so you can lock this up. It's a nice option with that. And again, like I said, we can keep everything really clean in here, and it's a nice clean look. You do get an extended length on your gooseneck from our drop wall to our hitches, 9 foot on these models with this enclosed gooseneck. So we'll talk a lot more about running gear when we get outside, but we do have a matching spare in here. It is spun around just to save face a little bit. Obviously with the roll-up door, probably don't need to do that, but nice to have the full-size matching spare. It is a 17.5. We're in heavy-duty Coopers here, so nice running gear. Again, like I said, we'll talk about that when we get back to our running gear. Electric over hydraulic jack. They're fast, they're easy, it's a press of a button. You have a key too, so there's a bit more security with that as well. If you want to lock this up, you want to lock your battery box and take your key out of your jack, you get some security out of that. But the ease of use of these guys compared to doing a manual crank jack now, it's a game changer, an absolute game changer. Now, everybody says, what happens if I have a dead battery? What do I do? You do get a little handle tucked away into the side, and it really is as simple as pumping a floor jack in your shop to change a tire on your car. It's a really simple system, and we can use it to either raise or lower the trailer. So if we need to unhook in an emergency from our tow vehicle, or vice versa, we need to get hooked up in some kind of emergency, or just we accidentally left some lights on and killed our battery, but don't want to ruin our show schedule, we have that ability. So we talked about the utility hooks down below. Really nice option to have some more storage with that. And then we've got a lot going on inside of this battery box. First and foremost, it's housing our deep cycle battery, our 12-volt deep cycle battery that's going to power everything from our interior lights in the trailer to our jack to our air ride system. And to complement that, standard on all our Cimarrons now, that come equipped with the 12-volt deep cycle service, you'll have the RedArc charge controller as well. So really nice for battery health. If you have a really low battery that needs a lot of charge, it'll accept that. If you have one that's topped up and pretty full and doesn't need a lot of charge, it's not going to overcharge them either. So a nice way to buy some battery health out of those. And then a big aspect of this whole system that we are big proponents of using as often as you see fit, every night when you park it or for the off season, is a battery disconnect. It's really easy on these trailers to leave a tack room light on. It's really easy to leave that switch to the air ride on so that you don't come out here and have a dead battery. We suggest using that anytime. Like I said, you're going to leave it overnight or you're going to leave it for the season. We have it on at the moment to show you a little bit of the systems and what we're running. Next to our battery, we have our air ride system here. So fully self-contained. No aspect of this needs to connect through your truck or anything. Charges through and gets its power from the battery service on the trailer. It's as simple as an on-off switch. That runs the compressor. It'll run itself up to around 120, 140 PSI. It'll maintain that pressure. And then we have a raise and lower valve. So really nice to raise and lower this trailer. First and foremost, you get a bit of lift out of this air ride system. So when you're traveling down the road, when you're in the aired up position, it sits about 3 or 4 inches higher. Really nice to be able, when you get to your destination, to lower the trailer down, make your ramps a lot less steep, and make life a little bit easier getting into your tack rooms, loading up your horses if you've got some young ones or something like that. Real quick up in the corner too, we have our jack control. We talked about that being keyed. And then we also have a switch for an awning light above us here as well. So obviously a lot of times we get hooked up to our truck and the bed light in our truck's not gonna do much for us. So nice to be able to have some extra lighting under here in the dark. So we'll work our way around to the side of the trailer. You will see this is a V-nose trailer too. So if you're putting a ton of miles down the road, you're definitely gonna see a lot more efficiency out of this trailer with that V-nose design. Working our way to the tack room. Couple of things real quick before we get into the tack room. First and foremost, a fold out step. No hardware, no pin, nothing you have to undo or manually pull with a spring like that that's gonna get road grime in it. It's just a little gas shock that holds it closed and holds it down and kind of acts as a soft open and close for you as well. And then secondarily, another nice little feature they put on these trailers that we can add to any trailer really is this combo lock. You can set the combo to whatever you desire, and it gives you the ability to give that combo to somebody and not have to give them a set of keys. They can get their tack out of their trailer if you have a student or something like that. So nice option with that. We'll pull this guy open. One more feature on the door that we'll note too is this brush box spray bottle tray. Kind of use it for those things that you want to get quick, easy access to. They do drill a couple holes in the bottom of it. I would certainly be the first one to spill a bottle of fly spray in there. So nice to be able to rinse that out and wash it out. And a couple little dividers in there too that'll help you out. So working our way into the tack room. First and foremost, you'll notice our entire floor is no longer the black rubber mat that we're used to seeing. You'll also see when we get to the partition wall, it's the same rubber material. This is a permanently sealed down to the floor surface, so don't have to worry about stuff getting under your mat. It's kind of that diamond tread pattern, almost like you would see diamond plate in a metal type material. But really, really cool stuff. Seeing a lot of high use out of these, and they're holding up really well. Certainly seeing these out in the real world at your supermarkets and your amusement parks and that kind of stuff as well. So we like this material quite a bit. Talking more about storage, about 3/4 of the width of the trailer. We are a 6'10" wide trailer here. We have an 18-inch deep boot box. So really, really nice storage. Obviously a blank slate to use whatever you want to. If you want to fit some buckets in there, if you got some blankets and stuff you want to store in there, obviously have that ability to get it out of the floor, get it out of the way a little bit. And then this has two-fold, nice spot to sit down, change your boots, get yourself relaxed for a little bit, take a load off, and then works as a great step to get up into our gooseneck area. So fully carpeted drop wall, fully carpeted in the gooseneck area. It is that V-nose like we talked about, but there's still a bit of room to throw an air mattress up there. There's still a bit of room to get a bedroll up there. You've got some windows for some cross ventilation still. So you have that ability with Cimarron's insulated roof to stay pretty temperate in here. And you have some LED lighting just above those windows too to help you out. And then again, blank slate for storage too. If you've got a bunch of totes and stuff that you want to throw up there, you'll have that ability. You'll see up in the corner, we do have the LED OptiBrite up there on the left side. On the opposite side of that, we've got a nice clothes rack bar as well. Nice to get some of our coats, show coats and pants and everything else out of our truck. Obviously, if we're hauling a few people with us, they're probably gonna want some back seat space too. So nice to stay a little bit more organized. And then here on our drop wall also, we have this 48-gallon half moon tank. So nice to be able to bring some water from home. If you're going to a trailhead that doesn't have any water on for the season or just doesn't offer it, nice to If you're hauling 3 horses with you, 48 gallons is certainly going to keep them hydrated for quite a while. Again, like I said, nice to be able to bring that from home, whether you're on a road trip, you're doing some showing or trail riding and want to have that option to bring it with you. Real easy, fill from the top, couple valves on the bottom. You can fit a 5-gallon bucket under the secondary one, and then we give you a little 10-foot hose that you can hook up to the bottom one as well. So working our way back around to myself, we'll talk about our saddle racks. First and foremost, just 3 equipped with it from the factory. 3 of the blanket poles, 3 of the saddle racks. We carry these in our parts department in stock. So if you want to add one, we can certainly do that. If you want to add a couple more blanket poles, these things are really stout and really nice to hang just about anything from. So you can do that. And then infinitely adjustable too. A couple little nuts and bolts on each one of the mounts themselves, and they're real easy to slide as low as you want to go or as high as you want to go. And then easily to remove too. If you want to pop a couple of these out, you just know you're not going to utilize them. That's real easy to do as well. And then looking over at our partition wall, you'll see big utility hooks on either side of our pass-through door. They've done a really nice job with these now. They're a lot taller, they're a bit deeper, and I can almost hang from them. They're really, really stout. So everybody that's driven down the road, especially some of these around here in Colorado and bounced around, and you found all your halters and your bridles and your tack on a heap, in a heap on the floor, you won't find that with these, certainly. And then really nice pass-through door, lockable as well into our horse compartment. We'll talk a little bit more about that when we get into there. But nice to have that access into your box stall straight into here. Whether you're utilizing that as some rainy day space or you're just kind of using it as a little bit of storage, the pass-through is a really nice way to go about it. So we'll work our way back outside and talk about one of the big aspects of the 2+1 that's a huge selling point, and that's the side ramp. A lot of different options with the side ramp. I'll close this back up for you while we talk about it, just to give you an overall look at the trailer again. I really like this in the silver finish. But the side ramp gives us quite a few options. If we're utilizing this as 2 box stalls and we need to get somebody in and out of here and leave them separate from the guys in the back, we have that option. Obviously, if you've got a couple straight loaded in the back, this is a very, very nice way just to unload them straight. If you have somebody that doesn't want to walk backwards off that ramp, it's a real easy way to get them off. And like I said, when we're aired down, we're even just a little nose high, so I could kind of get under there comfortably and show you some of the equipment that's there. But even aired down, this ramp is not very steep at all. So working our way in just really quickly, talk about a couple things in here. First and foremost, I'm standing on Werm flooring. Werm, acronym for we eliminate rubber mats. It's a rubberized pour-in flooring. It's non-porous, so with Cimarron's all aluminum floor, we're never gonna see anything penetrate down to that. Even the aluminum, especially with our urine, is very corrosive on the aluminum. So our rubber matted trailers, our suggestions are, depending on usage, once a year, pull your mats, wash them out, get them really clean, dump some baking soda in there to counteract that acidity. But with the Werm, you certainly don't have to worry about that because nothing will ever make its way down. So really quick, we'll work our way back outside and talk about a few things. But a nice addition with the side ramp is this bar. So if you are utilizing this as a box stall, I came from the breeding world. If I was by myself and needed to get somebody out of here, this is a nice little safety to drop the ramp, sneak in here by yourself, clip your shanks on, clip your headgear on, do what you need to do, and you have that option. Real easy to drop it back down, and then it's on a cool little track, and it stows away in its own little pocket right there. So nice to have that option. And then again, like I said, the side ramp just affords a lot of versatility with this trailer and a lot of just options, how you're loading, how you're using the trailer. And again, like I said, a ton of people end up using this for storage. So nice to be able to have some wheeled in storage if you want to dolly it in like that. And then a little bit different than most of the 2+1s that you'll see with this side ramp or side ramp trailers. Typically we're on a swing away door. This is the flip up style with a gas shock. So no hardware to keep it closed. It closes before the ramp and the ramp holds it closed. But really nice option if you are using this for some storage or just hanging out. Gives you quite a bit of shade too and makes loading pretty nice. Got a nice little strap there as well to hold it down. So we'll flip the ramp back up again. I like the side profile of this trailer. As we close all these up, we'll note everything's lockable too. Talked about the combo lock on the tack room, but all the paddle latches, everything is key to like, so you'll get a master set of keys with the trailer. If you're at a show, you're parking your trailer for the weekend at a hotel, what have you, if you want to store a couple things inside the trailer and lock them up, you have that option. So let's talk running gear real quick. We talked about air ride. First and foremost, we have a lot of customers that knew air ride systems of early air ride systems where if you ever had a leak or something like that, you were dead in the water if you ever had a dead battery. The system now is built first and foremost on a torsion axle. So if you ever do have a dead battery, if you ever do have an airline that's leaking, if you ever have an airbag that's blown out, you're never dead in the water anymore. In theory, you could run the life of the trailer on those torsion axles. We would certainly suggest fixing it sooner rather than later. But that's how this is set up so that if you ever do run into those situations, again, you're never stuck. You're never not able to roll down the road. Now, the air ride system itself is second to none. It's standalone. We talked about our control box in there in the battery box. This will air up. We'll see about 3 to 4 inches of lift. These fenders will raise up, the whole chassis will raise of the trailer, and your horses are now riding on air. So if you combine that with the Werm flooring that adds a lot of cushion in this air ride, if you're doing a lot of long hauls, if you're putting your horses on a lot of long trips, if you're doing a lot of intense work with your horses, if you're looking to cut a little bit of time off the front end or the back end of your trip just with that recoup from your horses, believe me, when you see the pep in their step when they pop off a trailer after 10 hours on air ride, you'll be really, really impressed. I will say another big aspect to this is the seat of the pants feel. I think in your truck, the first expansion joint you go over on a big bridge on the interstate and you don't feel the trailer go over it behind you, I think that's a huge selling point for this as well. We talk tires and wheels, 17.5s with Cooper heavy duties on here, so really nice running gear. And then electric drum brakes, so make sure you have a trailer brake controller in your tow vehicle to change those. Certainly your weights are going to change as you load and unload this trailer. And then drop windows. So we'll talk a little bit more about the straight load aspect of the trailer when we get inside, but this is going to be the head of our passenger side horse, and we've got a big drop window with jail bars. The nice part about the Cimarrons is there's no hardware, there's no mechanism to drop those jail bars. Real easy, raise and lower this and it fits right in and out of that track there. So get a lot of airflow of these. We'll talk about the roof line and some vents, but this is a #1 great way to get some airflow through this trailer. And then just behind that, you will see at their backside a really oversized bus window as well. So we'll move a lot of air through this trailer. Hanging on to a couple tie rings here. We can add more of these if you're looking to show off your trailer or something like that and want to have a couple tied up over here and have some more options. We can certainly add these for you in our shop, but got a couple of these on passenger side and driver's side too, so you've got some options. So we'll work our way around to the back of the trailer. I'm going to swing a couple of these Dutch doors open first. And the way that these are designed is that they can be run open down the road with the heavy duty paddle latch over here. If we want to move some more air over the backs of our horses, we have that option. And then a really cool look I like about this trailer that we've done in those extrusions is that V-notch there. Adds a lot of strength to the ramp, but obviously a very aesthetic add-on that we like quite a bit. So dropping down the ramp, you'll see what we consider the 2 aspect of the 2+1. So we've got 2 straight loads in here as we walk into the ramp. First and foremost, what we can do is drop all of our butt and chest bars, and we'll talk about this divider. And this divider is on a barn door roller in essence. And we can very easily, instead of deciding when you leave the house on a Monday morning for a long trip, well, we're gonna take a couple here and a couple there and do some moving around, but we don't know if we wanna take this divider with us, if we should pull it out. I'm gonna leave this one pinned for a second, or what we should do. And then you have to decide, well, I need to get my friend or my spouse to help me move it out of here. And that is a thing of the past with the rollers. And we're leaning, so it's trying to go already on me. That's our traveling divider. And we can pin that on this passenger side, so we have the ability to travel with this divider in this position as we go down the road. So if we want to utilize it, just like I said, as 2 box stalls, we have that option. And then if you are doing some traveling down the road and you decide you're picking up a couple geldings to take home, or a couple that'll ride in a straight load, you have that option as well. You can slide this right back over. You notice I didn't even have to remove the chest bars on that side or the butt bars. Everything pins in over there very nicely. Obviously, if you're going to use it as a box, these really easily pull out as well. So, talked about that. Let's work our way in and look at these partition doors really quick. So we've got double doors here. They can also pin open. If you wanted to completely strip this trailer out, this bar is also very easily removable, and we have that option. Now, working our way back into this front box that we've already been in once, there's our access to our side ramp. We do have an escape door over here on driver's side, but big difference with this trailer over a lot of the 2+1s that you'll see on the market is the measurement of this box. We are just under 10 feet. So most cases we're a little under 9 feet. We added a little bit more space to this, makes it a lot roomier. If you're hauling Warmbloods, we're a 7'10" trailer. We're certainly advertising this as a Warmblood size trailer. And you want to utilize that as a 2 area for a couple straight loads, but you've got another one that you're putting in here at that 8 or 9 foot box. You're a little tight in here. So we added a bit, an extra foot to really just make this that much more versatile. Whether you're hauling a bunch of horses, whether you're just looking for a little more storage, whether you want to slide a golf cart through here before you go to a show, you have that ability. So a lot going on with that. You'll see, looking around the trailer, we're really well lit up with the OptiBright LEDs. They do a nice job. All LEDs, so really low power draw. And as you see, no cheating the system on that. We do have a box to run some running lights, but these are running off our deep cycle service on the trailer. So even when we're not hooked up to a tow vehicle, we have that option. Looking along that same line up top on the roof line, we talked really quickly earlier about Cimarron's insulated roof. So it's a 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch honeycomb material, 1 piece front to back. Has an insulation factor of an R3, so we see a significant difference in temperature between these trailers and the aluminum skin competitors. And then secondarily to that, we've got 4 roof vents throughout the trailer. So a couple up here at the front of the box, and then a couple over top of each of our straight load horses. But those are 2-way roof vents. Summertime, we can open those up, scoop a lot of air down into this trailer. If we've got a couple in here, and then again over our straight load horses as well, we have the option to move a lot of air over them. And then wintertime, you can build up a lot of condensation in these trailers. So nice to reverse those and pull some of that air out of the top of these trailers. So, and then again, like we said, our pass-through door into our tack room just makes life a lot easier getting in and out of these guys. Whether you're using this for storage, like we said, just nice, easy access into that. And then again, like we said, everything on these trailers is lockable, even our man door over here. So we'll work our way back out of the trailer. Pin these back across. Everything's on a slam latch. Cimarron does a really nice job with being able to pin this stuff all one-handed. And then you'll notice too, all of our connections for butt bars and anywhere that we have connections for panels, it's plastic on metal. So that keeps a lot of the noise down on these trailers. That helps these Cimarrons especially ride a lot quieter. So again, really love the outside look of this trailer. So I'm gonna close it up again for you guys to have a look. You'll notice on the top line of the trailer, we do have a spoiler along the roof line there. We have a ton of dirt and gravel roads out here in Colorado. And the number one thing we see on everything with a flat back, whether it's a U-Haul box truck or a FedEx truck or all of our trailers going down the road, is they are covered in dirt and dust from all of that. And so the way that the spoiler directs the air down these trailers is it really mitigates almost all of that. Keeps the back of these trailers really, really clean. So we've all driven down the dusty roads with a clean rig and the whole rig looks nice and then the back of it's covered and stuff. Really nice to keep that air moving along. A couple real quick things back here before we work our way to driver's side. LED tail lights, running lights, everything's DOT approved, obviously. Got some extras we'll look at as we go along the side of it. But again, all LED, and then reverse lights in all 4 of the tail lights as well. So really helps things out. Early mornings when it's dark, late at night when it's dark, Whether you're going to a show, it's new to you and you're backing up into a new spot and it helps you see a little bit, or you're just using that reference point you use at home all the time and you're shining a little bit of light on it. Nice to have some of that added light. No change to your 7-pin connector, same system that's been just really underutilized for a long time. And then below that, all our awning lights, all of our interior lights inside the horse area are controlled right here. So real easy, jump out of your truck, driver's side. Again, if you're loading early in the morning, late at night, you have that option conveniently to come over there and flip those switches as you go. Talked about a couple tie railings, just a mirror image of what we've got over on passenger side. Again, like I said, we can add a few of those if you'd like to utilize a few more spaces to get tacked up. And then our drop window here as well on the head side of our rear more loaded horses. With the jail bars, I really like the ability to drop those down. And then this isn't our box stall, this is our escape door. So I like the drop window in here too. You can move a lot of air through these front horses that way. A little bit smaller to fit in the frame of this escape door, but like that added option with these as well. Above these guys, we will note we've got an awning light just above our tie rings there. Again, if we're doing some tacking up late at night, early in the morning, gonna help things out. And then you'll notice on this trailer, it got lucky, it's a somewhat cloudy day here in Colorado, to see all the extra running lights we've got on this one. So if you've got bad weather, if you do a lot of traveling at night, if you like being well lit up and hopefully making people see you on the road, this is the way to do it. We're probably doubled up what is standard or what is required by DOT. So really nice for that. And then we talked about our escape door, flip out step there. And then you've got access into your front box as well. And we do have another little bar there, just added little security blanket, little seat belt to get you in and out of there so that nobody's trying to get sneaky and escape out this side door on you while you're getting access into there. So again, really, really well loaded out 2+1 by Cimarron. It's their Norstar. It's a 2026 model. I think these are becoming so popular just because of their versatility, and I really think they're a great option. Whether you're running a couple regularly to shows and you've got a few more at home and you just want to have that capacity to evac if you need to out here during fire season, or you do some migrations north and south in the changing season. So again, really versatile trailer. If you guys have any questions about this trailer, if you have questions about weights, if you'd like some specific spec sheets, we can give you all the drawings. It's a 710, 610 wide, 26 on the floor, 5.5 foot tack room. But I'd be happy to email you all those spec sheets and go over weights and that kind of stuff with you too. My email down below is luke.sullivan@transwest.com. You can call or text me, 859-509-1282. That's my cell phone. And then if you want to reference this one specifically on our website, please feel free to reference it via its stock number. It's 5N250410. Thanks for your time today, everybody. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, please. También hablo español.